Yes, yes, yes. Good evening, good evening. Welcome, welcome to my program today. Welcome to this mind-blowing broadcast today. Welcome to June 12th broadcast. This evening, we are going to have what I call June 12th broadcast. June 12th broadcast. That is what we are going to have today. If you know you have people, Yoruba friends, Ududuwa friends, those who are believing in one Nigeria, those who are telling you that, oh, Nigeria will be better, we only need a good leader. Those who are telling you Nigeria is going to be restructured, or that they have been calling for restructuring of Nigeria, that once they restructure Nigeria, the problem of Nigeria will be over and Nigeria will begin to move forward again. Invite them, let them bring a cup of tea. It is going to be interesting this evening. If you have a one Nigeria friend, if you have a one Nigeria friend, invite them here, right here now. Tell them to come and listen to what is about to happen this evening. Tell them, when they tell you that one Nigeria is going to be, that, oh, we are going to restructure Nigeria, the government, they tell you if they are waiting for 2023, you must make sure you vote for somebody, or you must make sure that the election will take place in 2023. When we know that 2023 may never come, tell them to come and listen to this mind-blowing June 12th broadcast. I call it June 12th broadcast. And when you look at the thing, something I've just pinned now, that is GoFundMe program for World Igbo Congress, the World Igbo Congress, to save Biafra land, to save Biafra land. If you are a Biafran residing anywhere, any part of the world, and you have not participated in any way, or that you are also participating, it is time you write your name in the book, in the holy book of Biafra, to make sure that you participate and contribute in saving Biafra land. Otherwise, believe me, wherever you are, you may no longer visit your home. You may no longer be able to go to your home from next year if you do not participate in safeguarding your land today. The link that is there in the comment section, I have pinned it. Go there, click on the link, go there, put whatever you can from your heart and support the movement to save the Igbo people, to save Biafra from impending genocide, from impending jihad that is about to happen. A lot of people don't believe it, but it is happening. And in the spirit of June 12th, in the spirit of June 12th, in the spirit of June 12th, I give you love. I give you heart. In the spirit of June 12th. 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 Now, let us go there. In the spirit of June 12th. Remember, this is a special broadcast today for June 12th. June 12th. The history, June 12th history, June 12th story, the historic June 12th. This program today is not going to only be on June 12th, but a lot of things will be touched for you to know the power behind June 12th. And for you to know, you as a Yoruba person, you as a Dudua person, and you are calling yourself a Muslim. Like I said, I will not go into religion war with anyone. But you, Yoruba person today, you are calling yourself a Muslim, you are born into a Muslim family, I want you to come and listen to what I'm about to say today. I want you to come and listen to this program. I'm not saying you should change your religion. No. I'm not an advocate of changing your religion if you are born into a Muslim family and all that. But, when this rain will begin to fall on Nigerians, and the rain is coming from your northern religious brothers, the terrorist religious brothers from the north and from the Sahel, they don't regard you as a Muslim. They don't. They don't regard you as a Muslim. They can never and will never regard you as a true Muslim. That is the only message I have for you. I'm not saying you should change your religion. I am not an advocate for you to change your religion. I respect your choice. I respect your religious right. I respect your right to worship and your right to belong to any religion you want. But pay attention to what I'm about to do today for June 12th. And see whether these people that you are aligning yourself with, claiming that you are brothers in religion, I want you to pay attention to my June 12th broadcast. If you have a brother, if you have a friend, if you have a sister that you know that all of them are from Oduduwa and they are believing that these people, them and the people of the caliphate in the north are the same, please invite them to watch my program. And those of you, before you are calling my number, please go and check always that I am not live. Before you always call my number, I am appealing to you, those of you watching me now, I will make that appeal again. Those of you watching me now, don't call my number until I said it is time to call. Please, if you ever want to call my number, always come to my Facebook page to check whether I am live or not before you call my number. Not each time I'm live, people will pick call and start calling. And when you ask them, they say, I don't know you are live. So I am appealing to you watching me today, before you ever, any day you ever call my number, please go on my Facebook page to check whether I am live or not before you start calling. A lot of you are calling. Each time I just come live, that's when you start to call me, even when I have not opened the telephone for calls. Now, in the spirit of June 12th, Abiola was a Muslim. Abiola was born into Muslim family in Yoruba land. Abiola, Moshood Abiola was a Muslim, a core Muslim, and he was born into Muslim family in Yoruba land. He did not just join or change religion. He was born into Muslim family. But because he was never regarded as a true Muslim by the caliphate. Now let us watch this.
No life, small water, then they bring us so that the polar. The small money I they get now so transport the chop school low, na headache, hospital no work, I tire for life. Oh, my brother, waiting you they think oh, my sister, help don't come, SDP, MKO, Kidibe, action, MKO, Kidibe, SDP, progress. Abiola na the logo, SDP na the party to solve our problem and better our life. Oh, MKO, action. Abiola, progress. Now he will the logo for better tomorrow.
Before his foray into the murky waters of Nigerian politics, Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola was one of Nigeria's most colorful philanthropists. Born in Abeokuta on Wednesday, the 24th of August, 1938, to parents who were by his own account too poor to send him to school, MKO Abiola's superlative brilliance in elementary school won him scholarships virtually all through life. Before the scholarships started coming, he had done virtually every imaginable thing to see him through elementary school. Though born a Muslim, Chief Abiola attended Baptist Boys High School, Abeokuta, Ogun State, on the scholarship of the Nigerian Baptist Church between 1951 to 1956, and University of Glasgow, Scotland, between 1961 to 1965, on the scholarship of the then Nigerian Western region. He loved giving and would readily tell listeners, but for the Baptists, he would at best have been a poor vulcanizer in Abeokuta. It is one probable reason why to the late business mogul, giving was a business you must not be found wanting in.
As an individual, I care. I will still be meeting about 50 people in the house tonight, and I will attend to them. That is my life. But I will attend to them more directly, not as a charity, but as a duty.
Basharu Abiola gave and gave and gave until he gave the ultimate, his life, in a quest to actualize a presidential election mandate he was given on June 12, 1993.
He gave and 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 gave his life for one Nigeria. He gave and gave and gave and gave and gave his life for one Nigeria. And guess what? In a very, very bad way, they killed him. They killed him for one Nigeria. This was a man who, out of his philanthropist, spent billions, pumping billions into building mosque, pumping billions into helping Muslims in the north, just for one Nigeria. And guess what? The same people who he helped to build their future, they killed him. They killed him because they never trusted him. They never trusted him. They will never ever trust him. The same thing Tinubu is doing today. Tinubu know that nobody in the north trusts him. They will never ever trust him. Even if he make himself emir of Yoruba land, Tinubu today, under Muslim whatever, he will never ever be trusted. Ever. Never ever be trusted as a Yoruba man. As a Muslim Yoruba man. Tinubu can never be trusted. All these things you see they are doing, they are just using him. Now let us continue.
The popular axiom to live in the hearts of those we love is not to die is probably more appropriate to Chief Abiola than most humans. His 5 years on earth were more remarkable than his previous 55 years. Rising from lowly backgrounds with no inherited influence, Basharu MKO Abiola rose by dint of hard work to become the toast of kings and queens. But he was a kingmaker without a skeptic, hardly bore grudges.
Now, are you seeing somebody? Are you seeing somebody close to Abiola? This face you see here, we will come back to that.
But was tenacious in the extreme for anything he holds dear. Until the epochal events following the annulment of the historic June 12, 1993 election, which he won fair and square, Abiola was considered by many.
In fact, I don't want to go further without mentioning this. I want you to pay attention to that face. That face you see here. Who is this person? This is Gowon, the executioner and executor Gowon. Here. Did you see him? Did you see him? This is the evil Gowon. This is the evil Gowon. Abiola thought he was dealing with human being. Just like a lot of them today, they thought they are dealing with, when they are dealing with Gowon, they thought they are dealing with human being. You see Gowon by his side. See, Gowon. Gowon, the executioner, the executor, the one Nigeria terrorist Gowon. The murderer terrorist Gowon. If they lock you out, come back. Today we die here. If the Nigerian comedian, we die here today. Nobody is going anywhere. We will preach this gospel. We will preach the gospel. If they like, if they lock you out, just come back. Today, not today. Today, not today. Today, not today. If they log you out, come back. We will deal with them. There is nothing they will do. There is nothing they can do. The worst they can do is this. The worst they can do is to interrupt the broadcast. The worst they can do is to take people away from the broadcast. But the video will be there. Today we die here. Just you know what. Today we die here. This is June 12th. This is June 12th. They can't stop us. They can't stop us. The worst they can do is to remove you, and when they remove you, you come back. When they remove you, you come back. When they remove you, you come back. In fact, let me make them angry a little bit. Let me make them angry. Let me provoke them. Do you know how to provoke them? Do you want to know how to provoke them? Let me show you how to provoke them. If you want to provoke them, promote Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You provoke them. Let me promote our leader. Yes, yes, yes. If they do it again, I will play it again to provoke them. If you want to provoke these people working in Facebook in Nigeria, just bring this video I'll play now and play. Let Mazi Nnamdi Kanu be showing him his hand in chain like this. Let the video of how he was shouting and abusing Buhari in court be showing like this. That is the thing that provoked them the most. So anytime they do like this, we will play this thing again and we start, so that it will continue to provoke them, because as they are provoking us, we'll be provoking them. Now, let us continue. Remember, I want all our Yoruba brothers and sisters, tag them on this particular broadcast I'm doing today. I want them to watch this broadcast. In fact, if you are close to Oba of Lagos, Oba Akiolu of Lagos, if you know him, if you know people who are close to Oba, that's Oba of Lagos, I am remembering him. People, you know, when you incite your people to kill people, you have committed genocide. So now, I want to mention Oba of Lagos' name today in this broadcast. It's going to be that will shock them, especially in the program. If they log you back, if the video all of a sudden get frozen, just come back, go out and come back. They're attacking the page. So now, let us not mention Lagos and Oba again, as I'm mentioning that Oba, they are not comfortable. So, but the truth must be told. Tag them, they must watch what I'm about to do. Now, remember, I said, this is Gowon. This man you see here is Gowon. This is Abiola. This Gowon here is an executioner. He killed Ironsi. Ironsi made him chief of army staff. He killed Ironsi. And he stored. Gowon and his people has been serving the caliphate for a very long time. They have been serving the caliphate for a very long time. This is not just, it didn't start today. They have been serving this caliphate for a very long time, and there is nothing to show for it at the end of the day. At the end of the day, Gowon, the killer, the executioner, the executor, the murderer will always kill for one Nigeria. Gowon will always kill for one Nigeria. If Gowon don't order the killing, he will advise how the person will be killed. So when you see him close to Abiola, you know that there is a problem. You know that he cannot be there without being used to kill for one Nigeria. So Abiola's death, that is Gowon, the role Gowon played in advising the military government how to kill Abiola cannot be underestimated. Can never be underestimated. Now let us go there.
He hardly bore grudges, but was tenacious in the extreme for anything he holds dear. Until the following the annulment of the historic June 12, 1993 election, which he won fair and square, Abiola was considered by many elites to be, like most, a conservative businessman who will readily count his losses and move on with his life whenever the situation demanded. The millions of his well-wishers among the lowly, it is doubtful if Chief Abiola would not have found a way back to their hearts if he had abandoned tough struggle without laying down his life. But Abiola chose rather to die for what he held dear, and today, also on account of his selflessness, hardly does anyone remember this worthy son of Nigeria was a shrewd businessman who made as much as he could from the global internet.
Somebody said that man was a Babangida Kingibe. Even if he's a Babangida Kingibe, let him be Babangida Kingibe, but the assertion I have just made about Gowon still remains there. Whether he is Gowon or whether the face is Kingibe or Babangida Kingibe or whether the face is Gowon, what I have said about Gowon still remains the same. There is no changing. I am not retracting it. It is exactly who Gowon is, and that is who he is till today.
National communications business. Today, we remember this noble peasant who, by dint of hard work and a yet unequaled network of powerful friends and admirers, cultivated over years of preparation, won the June 12, 1993 Nigerian presidential elections. Chief Abiola was obviously one very recent political leader who prepared himself to lead Nigeria out of the abyss of the rudderlessness that has been the lot of the country since independence, particularly at the federal level. It is believed that Chief Abiola was prevented from taking over the reins of governance by a cabal that has, even by the official public admission, held the country down. The then military leader, General Ibrahim Babangida, incidentally a close friend of Abiola, has to date not given any tangible reason for the annulment of Nigeria's fairest and most peaceful presidential election.
Did you hear that? A friend of Abiola. Did you hear that? Babangida, a friend of Abiola. Babangida, a friend of Abiola. A friend of Abiola. A friend of Abiola. Did you hear that? A friend. And not just a friend though. Abiola is a Muslim. Babangida, is a Muslim. Not just that they have the same religion, but they are also friends. But because they can never ever trust Yoruba Muslim. They can never ever trust Yoruba Muslim. They don't even regard them. And this is the message I want them to get today. They are attacking the page again. Anytime I want to say this to you, just disconnect the page. Now let us go there.
It is true that the presidential election was generally seen fair and peaceful. However, there was in fact a huge array of election malpractices virtually in all the states of the Federation before the actual voting began.
At the famous Epetedo area of Lagos Island, Chief Abiola had defied Nigerian military's annulment of his hard-won victory. The following national crisis snowballed into the return of the military, and Chief Abiola was arrested and detained by the government of General Sani Abacha and charged for treasonable felony. The trial was stalled for 4 years until his death on the eve of freedom on Tuesday, July 7, 1998, which sparked off the violent protest, particularly in Lagos and other towns in the Nigerian southwest where he was born, even though the man arguably to date recorded the most pan-Nigerian election victory in the country's near 50 years history. When he returned to Nigeria, he joined the Lagos University Teaching Hospital as the deputy chief accountant in 1965. 2 years later, he joined Pfizer Products Limited, Lagos, as chief accountant. But it was at the International Telephone and Telegraph Corporation that he hit gold. He joined as a controller in 1969 and rose to be the vice president of the corporation in Africa and the Middle East. He was the chief executive ITT Nigeria Limited 1977 to 1988. He retired voluntarily in 1988. A human dynamo, Chief Abiola had enormous capacity for work even with all his wealth. He dispensed money freely to the needy to worthy causes anywhere in the world. He was dubbed the pillar of sports in Africa because of his generous contributions to the development of sports. Throughout his adult life, he was...
Please, can whoever that is calling me stop calling me, for crying out loud? The person that is calling me from the United States, please stop calling me. I am on live program. And I don't know why you are watching me live on live program and you are still calling me. Please stop calling me. This number from the United States, call me whenever I am free, whenever I am done with my live program. Stop calling me while I'm on live program, please.
Was committed to the upliftment of the black man. He left his mark in every venture he dabbled. His foray into Nigerian journalism changed the face of Nigerian media. He brought substantial panarchy to newspaper publishing as the publisher of the Concord Group of newspapers in the 1980s. He was also of the strong opinion that the colonialists and slave dealers who plundered the continent should pay reparation, a crusade he could not finish before his death. Official records have it that Chief Abiola was honored with more than 100 titles across countries and of which include the Bashorun of Ibadan and the Are Ona Kakanfo of Yoruba land. Chief Abiola was married to many wives, including Alaja Kudirat, who was herself assassinated on Tuesday, June 4, 1990, by guns of the then military regime, trying to silence the definite clamor for the actualization of the election.
They killed the wife, Kudirat Abiola, assassinated her, assassinated the husband on one Nigeria, assassinated both of them. Both of them were killed, just like they have killed so many Biafrans, and they are still killing.
In 5 years' time, no Nigerian child will go to bed hungry by the grace of God.
Now, Let me tell you a story before I continue. Let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story what transpired prior to 2015 election. Before I continue. Now, when Jonathan was the president of Nigeria, some Yorubas felt that Jonathan government didn't favor them. And they were right. It didn't favor them. But what the Yorubas did not understand was also, the Jonathan government did not favor Biafrans as well. That the appointment was given to some Biafrans in any way does not mean that it favored Biafra. There was no single project, no big project in Biafra land, no road under Jonathan. But Jonathan built Almajiri, built all this, built all that, approved railway, everything in the northern Nigeria. Because he was being controlled by Fulani Voodoo. Fulani Voodoo controlled Jonathan. And not only Voodoo, they controlled Jonathan with their terrorism. They controlled Jonathan with their voodoo in Aso Rock. Every blessed day, they make incantation in Aso Rock. They put calabash, they bring calabash, they urinate the poo inside Aso Rock to make sure that Jonathan never get back to his senses. And they continued this. And of course, what surprises me is that in all this, all the GOs, nobody could liberate Jonathan from the shackles and the voodoo of Fulanis in Aso Rock. They could not, the prayer, of course, the prayer worked because he came out alive. The wife also came out alive, unlike the other people who when they go there, one will come out, one will die. So in that sense, the prayer worked. But the prayer did not liberate Jonathan in government policies. How to develop the region, other region, apart from the north, who have covered his eye with voodoo. And the voodoo are in Fulani cows, and all the people in Aso Rock, he could not even sack all the Fulanis in Aso Rock. But Jonathan should have converted Aso Rock to southern Aso Rock. Like everybody in Aso Rock should have been southerner. But he didn't do that. He didn't do that. And of course, we are not blaming him. You know, when you have a canal, when you are not in this, when you are not a spirit man, that kind of mistake is all the caliphate leaders in the north, and Tinubu took some Yorubas, some big wigs in Yorubas. They all had a meeting in Kaduna State. In Kaduna State. Period to that meeting, Tinubu, towards the end of Jonathan, and again, Tinubu did not know that I don't trust him. Tinubu was so open to the people he believed are their friends. Just like if they remove you, come back. Come back. If they remove you, come back. Today not today. Today not today. Today not today. I will tell the story what many Nigerians, what many Yorubas don't know. I'm going to reveal it today. So, as they are attacking the page, believe me, you are not missing anything. Once the page hang, I will stop talking until the page comes up talking. Once the page go off, I will stop talking, and when the page come back, I will start talking. So you are not missing anything. You are not, because their plan is that whenever I start talking, when the page go off, I will continue to talk, and then by the time the page come back, you already missed something. You are not missing anything. Anytime the page stop, I stop talking. I begin to talk a different thing. So now, let me continue because the page is back. So, as you just hear the narrator explaining how Abiola was a friend of Babangida, a close friend of Babangida, and of course, Abiola, being a friend of Babangida, must have revealed his intention, how he intend to build Nigeria, how he intend to make Nigeria a better country. Probably, who knows? He must have reviewed to Babangida and his northern friend how he want to restructure the country. Who knows? You never can tell. You never can tell what Abiola have discussed with Babangida to make him kill his own friend, to make him annul the election that elected his own friend. So you can see that it's going to be a very deep-rooted something that nobody know. Only both of them, only two of them. Only two of them know. Only two of them know what they have discussed and what Abiola have revealed to him that made him say no. The North cannot stay and Abiola come to restructure Nigeria and make Nigeria a better country. No. They decided to kill him. So now, what I'm trying to say is that this Tinubu did the same thing, and Tinubu is still doing the same thing today. He thinks that the North, he have friends in the caliphate. So this is what happened, or this was what happened. He told his friends in the caliphate that Yoruba people are tired of Nigeria. Tinubu, you see today, told his caliphate friend that in fact, he want to lead Yoruba people out of Nigeria. But the only thing he want to do is that if the caliphate, Arewa, can come back, can join with Yorubas to get power out of Jonathan. So that after they get power out of Jonathan, they can now, Yoruba people can now reposition themselves in Nigeria so that they will be able to break away from Nigeria after repositioning themselves. And Tinubu was telling this thing to Northerner, like five heavyweights in the North. He was revealing this thing to them, thinking that he was talking to people he called his friends. He don't know that he was just killing Yoruba future just the way Abiola killed himself by revealing how he wanted to govern Nigeria and how he wanted to change Nigeria for a better country. So, they waited for Tinubu. They told Tinubu, we are tired of these Igbo people. We are tired of this Biafra. In fact, let them go to hell. Let us get this power out of Jonathan so that, remember, when they are talking about Jonathan, they are not talking about Ijo. They are not talking about Niger Delta. They are not talking about rivers. They are talking about Igbo. Jonathan is regarded as Igbo, as I'm telling you now. So they are not saying, let us get power from this Ijo man. Let us get power out of Ijo man. Let us get power out of Ogoni man. Let us get power out of Niger Delta man. They say, let us get power out of these Igbo people, which is Jonathan. Now, Tinubu revealing this thing to Caliphate, which he called their friends. He didn't know that he has killed all the trust the Yoruba people believe they had. He didn't know that he have killed the future and everything about Yoruba even though they did not trust them prior to that. Now, Tinubu had agreement with the North that the idea was for Yoruba people to reposition themselves after they must have won the election in 2015. So, the Tinubu did everything and helped the North to win the election. Or they took over the power of Nigeria, not by election, but they did everything. They bought the Jega off. They make sure they manipulate Jega. Jega also was against Jonathan because they want the power to come back to North. Okay. The power came back. Do you know what happened? Do you know what those friends of Tinubu did? The people he revealed the plan of Yorubas to. Do you know what they did? They called the meeting of the inner caucus of Northern Inner Terrorist Caucus and said, we must not give Yoruba any breathing space in this government. Otherwise, they are going to break away before we know it. We must not give Tinubu any breathing space. We must not give Osinbajo any breathing space. We must not give any Yoruba man any British space in this government, because we already know their intention was not for Nigeria. Their intention was to reposition themselves for a breakaway from Nigeria. And the Yoruba people don't know. A lot of Yoruba people don't know this, but I'm revealing it to you today. Now, this was the major reason, you see, when Tinubu made a list of people that they must appoint in the government after 2015, they rejected all of them. They rejected all of Tinubu's list. The only person they took was Fashola and few of them. They rejected Tinubu list because they don't trust him. They rejected Tinubu list because they don't trust Yoruba people again. They know what Yoruba people want to do. They know that Yoruba people are not for Nigeria anymore, including Tinubu. They know that Tinubu is not for Nigeria anymore. They know that what Tinubu wanted to do was to use the northern people and reposition Yorubas so that for easy breakaway from Nigeria. And remember, Biafra want to break away. Yoruba also want to break away, including this Tinubu. The northern people want to break away. But before they start making the move of breaking away, they want to reposition themselves in all the sector of the economy. That is what the Fulani did. You see what Buhari did now? That was what Tinubu want to do. And that is the reason why we are telling you today, Tinubu can never be president of Nigeria. If Nigeria become a country and continue to be a country till 2023, he can never ever be president. And if he end up becoming a president, he's going to swear an oath in the biggest shrine in the entire world that he will never employ Yorubas, that he will never appoint Yoruba, that he will be even more useless and more worse than any other government, that he will be controlled by Fulani. His presidency will be controlled by Fulani. That is, I'm telling you now, if at the end of the day, it happens that he become the president, before they can support him to do that, he must swear an oath in a very big shrine that if he do this, they kill him. So, this is the reason why when they came into power, they begin to sideline Osinbajo. They muzzled Osinbajo because they know Osinbajo is a Tinubu boy. They muzzled Osinbajo. They bundled Osinbajo, put him inside cage. Not only that, anybody that Osinbajo appointed, they sacked all of them. They sacked all the appointee of Osinbajo, which are all Yorubas. 30-something people, 30-something personnel or personal aid to Osinbajo was all sacked and expelled from Aso Rock because they were all Yorubas. They don't want any Yoruba to be in anywhere near Aso Rock. They don't want Yorubas to know what is happening in Aso Rock. They don't want anybody from Yoruba to be in Aso Rock. That is how bad it has become. And I am telling you this now because in this video of Abiola, they said Babangida is his close friend. That same close friend annulled his election because Abiola, revealed to his close friend, who was IBB, how he want to make Nigeria a better country. And before you can make Nigeria a better country, you must make sure that you render Fulanis useless. Making Nigeria a better country is, first of all, you have to render Fulanis useless by removing every power that belongs to Fulani. That is only how you can make Nigeria a better country. And of course, Babangida as his northern caliphate, they don't like that. They don't want that Abiola make Nigeria a great and rendering Fulanis useless in Nigeria. They don't want that, so they have to kill him. Now, Tinubu has done the same thing, and that is why you see all these things going on. That is why you see nobody want to have anything to do with Osinbajo. That is why you see how they humiliate Osinbajo. That is why Abba Kaere single-handedly hijacked president and become president and de facto president. That is why they are sending Osinbajo to condolence visit. That is why they are sending Osinbajo to chair Empower. That is, you see, so a lot of things that the Yoruba people don't know, but I'm revealing it to you today. And Tinubu, if he listen to me, he'll be wondering where I get this information because he knows what I'm saying now is truth and fact and nothing. And anybody who were part of that meeting know that what I'm saying now is fact. But what the mystery now is, how did I get this information? That is what they will be wondering. So, this will now bring me to what I said. I said, go invite your Yoruba friend. Remember, our broadcast today is on June 12th. June 12th. What your friend in the north, those people you call your friend in the caliphate, what they can do to you. As I'm talking to you now, they have taken over Lagos. As I'm talking to you now, they have rendered Oba of Lagos incapacitated. Oba Ankiolu, or what is it called? Incapacitated. They are humiliating Oba of Lagos. Are you aware of that? Are you aware, Yoruba people, that Oba of Lagos is being humiliated everywhere, including in Edo State? Are you aware of that? They purposely invite him to Edo State to insult and humiliate him. Are you aware of that? I want to show you now. I want to show you how Oba Akiolu, Oba of Lagos State, is being humiliated. One moment. You see, our own is that it is not, we do with facts. Facts. We don't, so when we talk, we bring you facts. It is not, we don't do propaganda. When we do, we bring you facts. Now, before I go ahead to tell you why Oba of Lagos has been rendered incapacitated, today, I'm going to make that shocking revelation. Now, I will show you today that Oba of Lagos has been conquered in his land. I tell you before that when Buhari came into power, he wanted to give Lagos State a special status that Lagos State can decide on how to tribally discriminate between other ethnic group and other ethnic group, and their target is the Biafran business in Lagos. And who are the willing tools, according to Ahmedu Bello or Usman Danfodio? Who are the willing tools? The willing tools are the governors that are coming into to serve in Lagos State. The present governor has become the willing tool that they are being used under this special status. Now, after giving special status to Lagos, they have successfully installed the Emir of Lagos. The Emir, not Hausa, the Fulani Emir in Lagos. And I have made this comment before. Today, I am bringing you the video evidence of the Emir of Lagos State. And I am going to show you the Emir of Lagos State. They have denied it. They continue to deny it. It is only denying. We will continue to review it. And as time goes on, the way they are insulting Oba of Lagos, the way they are inviting Oba of Lagos to different places to humiliate him, will be the thing that will vindicate us. They insulted Oba of Lagos in Benin. They molested him in Benin, in Edo State. I'm going to show you the video. Now, let us watch this. This is the Emir of Lagos. One moment. You see, attack is everywhere. But guess what? They have not seen anything. One moment. They have not seen anything. They don't know us. We told them that the Biafra of 2020, we are not the Biafra of 1967. By the time we finish the media war, we will go to diplomacy. Of course, as it is simultaneously, but by the time we face diplomacy, the diplomatic war, by the time we face diplomatic war, which is happening very soon because the pandemic is almost over. By the time we face diplomatic war, Nigeria will be begging for us to get our Biafra, that the damage is too much.
Palace, the ritual remains the same. Every month at the palace, the ritual remains the same. The king of the Fulani is dressed with a turban by his assistant. After a brief meeting with his emissaries, the Council of Traditional Leaders begins.
You are watching the Emir of Lagos. Lagos they have conquered Lagos almost. In fact, if you know Oba of Lagos, you make sure you send this video because his eye is going to open this evening. I'm going to review a lot of things he don't know. So if you know anybody that is close to Oba of Lagos, tell him that if he don't wake up, if Yoruba people don't wake up now, they have taken over Lagos State. They have taken over Lagos State. And again, every Fulani, including the governmental or the government official that are coming to Lagos, they pay homage to this emir and not to Oba. A lot of you today know that emir of Kano, the embattled emir of Kano or the ex-emir of Kano is in Lagos today. Nobody know where he is, what he's doing in Lagos. Have Yoruba people asked question, what is Lamido Sanusi doing in Lagos? Is Lagos not? So all in the northern state where there is no place where Sanusi can stay, he run and take refuge in Lagos State. Has Lagos State now become a foreign land where it's the only safest place to hide? But Emir Sanusi is staying in Lagos as I'm talking to you today. Nobody know what he's doing in Lagos and his mission. Choosing Lagos to be where he will run and take exile. Ask yourself that question. Why is Lamido Sanusi in Lagos? Why? Yoruba Oba of Lagos. Why is Lamido Sanusi in Lagos? And what is your relationship with him? What are you discussing with him? What have you been discussing with Lamido Sanusi? Start thinking. You were ex-police officer. I know that Nigerian police don't have brain. They don't think. So, but I believe that with the exposition and a lot of intelligent people around you, you will be able to start to reason after this broadcast. Search yourself, search your soul, Oba of Lagos. What is Lamido Sanusi discussing with you? Because he is in contact with you. What is it? And why did he choose Lagos? Now let us go there.
Every month at the palace, the ritual remains the same. The king of the Fulani is dressed with a turban by his assistant. After a brief meeting with his emissaries, the Council of Traditional Leaders begins.
Most of the time, people come and bring their problems, to me, and we try our best to see how we're going to solve it. If it is something we can solve, we do it immediately. If it is not, we give them time to come back. Or if it's something that has to do with the law enforcement, we talk to the law enforcement.
So he is already doing the job of Oba of Lagos. Mediation. He is mediating between Fulani. Fulani don't pay homage to Oba of Lagos. They don't regard him. They don't respect him anymore. The only Oba, the only king they know in Yoruba land now, as I'm talking to you today, the only king Fulani know in Ibadan, in Lagos State, in all those places are this emir that you see today. But guess what? They have come to publicly debunk that he's not emir, that there is only, what is it called? Emir of Fulani, of Fulanis in Lagos. That is what they are saying. He's the one now mediating, doing the job of Oba of Lagos. So when there is a dispute between people, Fulanis and other community, they take the dispute to this Oba, to this emir, not Oba of Lagos. Oba of Lagos don't know anything anymore. In fact, he think, of course, when there is issue between Yorubas, those who are loyal to Oba of Lagos, they go to Oba of Lagos. Then, when there is a dispute between Fulanis that are living in the territory of Oba of Lagos, instead of them going to Oba of Lagos, they go to the emir of Lagos State. You see that? They go to emir. You hear them from the beginning telling you the background, the activity of the emir of Lagos. I'm going to shock you now. Do you know the emir of Lagos? Emir of Lagos is the owner of Lagos Port. Lagos Apapa Wharf. He is the owner. He is the owner of Apapa Wharf. You are going to hear it now. He is the one employing Yoruba people. Apapa Wharf, you hear. He is the owner. In fact, let me put it correctly. He is the indirect owner. He is the owner by proxy of Apapa Wharf. You are going to hear it here. Let us continue.
Land disputes, family quarrels.
Did you hear that? They are settling land dispute and family quarrel in Fulani Emir of Fulani Lagos. Is the one solving land dispute. What is he got to do with land in Lagos? Yoruba land. Huh? If Fulani and Fulani are fighting, it's a different thing. You say they are going to Emir, this is their chief in Lagos State. So they are going to solve their problem in this Emir Palace because it is a Fulani community issue. But now, what right does this man, Emir, have to solve land dispute in Yoruba land? And they are telling me they have not taken over. Yoruba land. Oba Akiolu of Lagos State. Are you hearing me? The Emir of Lagos, they told you, when we raise this alarm, they come to tell you he is not Emir. He is just a chief of Fulani and all that. Are you hearing him? He is now doing your duty, solving land dispute in your land. Land dispute in Yoruba land. You don't know what is happening. That is why they invited you. They took you to Edo State. They took you to Edo State, Oshimole. They used Oshimole and was it Oshimole and Obaseki? They took you to Edo State to humiliate you. And they told you, you are not real Oba. Have you heard about that? Oba of Lagos, they say you are not real Oba. That real Oba will disappear. After they tried you in Edo State, they invited you to Edo State, they sent thugs. Oshimole sent thugs to attack you in Edo State. Those thugs were paid by Fulani federal government. They sent the thug to come and attack you and attack Oshimole. In disgust, they say it's political tension in Edo State. They sent the thug to attack you, to try you, to molest you, to humiliate you in Edo State. Those thugs were paid by the federal government because it is tussle for power of taking over Lagos. That was why they pull you out of your land to go to Edo State. You think they are recognizing you. They are not recognizing you. They brought you to Edo State to humiliate you, and they tested your power, whether you have power to disappear, like a normal Oba should have done. After that, they begin to analyze you. They have found out that you are not real Oba. That is, I'm not saying it too. I'm going to play a video where they said you are not real Oba of Lagos. They say you are not real Oba. Now, they sent those thugs to attack you and Oshimole. They attacked you, humiliated you, and you could not disappear. And now they begin to make mockery. They say you are not real Oba, that you are a political Oba. They say Oba with money. They say you are Oba with money. They say you are because you are a police officer, you do not know anything, that you think Oba is something that you don't know tradition of Yoruba land. They say that if you are real Oba of Lagos, you should have disappeared when they attack you in Benin, or that you should have just bring out your staff and pronounce and make incantation, and the people who attack you will dry up. You could not do that. So for that reason, they say you are not Oba, you are not real Oba. And here is the real Emir of Lagos. And this man has come to deny being the Emir of Lagos. That was then, no. Now they have accepted, and you can hear them analyzing the thing he does in Lagos. He settled land dispute, which means now that he is now in control of the land in Lagos State. How can you be settling land dispute when you are not an indigene of Lagos State? How can you be settling land dispute? Do you know who owned the land? Do you know how the land come about? Do you know the ancestral owner of the land? Why will you be settling the land if you have not claimed the owner of Lagos, which the federal government has given you? Let us listen to them again.
Enforcement.
Land disputes, family quarrels.
Give them time to come back, or if it's something that has to do with the law enforcement, we talk to the law enforcement.
Land disputes, family quarrels, attacks, and armed robberies are all on the agenda. The king of the Fulani people in Lagos is called upon for any community-related problem. It is a community that also suffers from discrimination. The Fulani are regularly accused of being at the root of deadly violence between farmers and herders in central Nigeria.
Anywhere you say a Fulani man, people see them as killers. But it's not true. A Fulani man is a wonderful person. He accommodates. He likes his people. He likes his...
Now, of course, I am not going to start to tell you whether he is lying or whether he's telling the truth. At least every average Yoruba man knows whether this what he said here. I'm not going to say what he said is a lie. I leave that to Yoruba people to know whether what this man is saying, that Fulanis are loving people, whether he's saying the truth. And he say Fulanis are peaceful people, whether he's saying the truth. Yorubas have tested it. If they have not tested it, that will not be Amotekon in the first place. So I will not go to say he's lying. So I leave this one to them. I leave this one to them.
His neighbors, he interacts. You know, he's a very social person, a Fulani man. But you know what? There is no society that there's no bad eggs.
Okay. There is no society that is no bad egg. Now, let us look at the bad egg in Yoruba land. Let us look at the bad egg in Yoruba land. Are bad eggs in Yoruba land carrying arms to kill villages, kill children, rape women, and butcher them? The answer is no. So we do not have that kind of bad egg in Yoruba land. Are bad eggs in Biafra land taking arms, killing people, killing women, go to villages, raise the villages, destroy farmland, destroy property, and burn women, rape women, and kill our children? Do we have that kind of bad eggs in Biafra land? The answer is no. The Middle Belt, the bad eggs in Middle Belt, do they go and take arms, go to villages that don't belong to them, go to land that don't belong to them, kill those people, raise their villages, kill their children, innocent children that don't do anything, kill them, butcher them, cut off their head, and claim the land? Do you have those kind of bad eggs in Middle Belt? The answer is no. The way you have the bad eggs in the northeast and the northwest. In the northeast and the northwest, what kind of bad eggs do you have? The bad eggs you have Boko Haram. These are the bad eggs. You have bandit. These are the bad eggs. You have Fulani herdsmen. These are the bad eggs. You have the Asar terrorist group. These are the bad eggs. You have the ISIS West Africa. These are the bad eggs. So you see, our bad eggs can never be compared to other bad eggs. The bad eggs we have in the southern part of Nigeria is the bad eggs we need. We only have bad eggs of armed robbery. Armed robbery that can be arrested and rehabilitated. These are the bad eggs we have, and they have reduced. In fact, the armed robbery we have now in the southern part of Nigeria are also the bad eggs of Fulanis, because they are the one doing the armed robbery and kidnapping in the southern part of Nigeria. Do we have those kind of bad eggs? No. This man say you have in every region, in every ethnic group, you have bad eggs. We do not have the kind of bad eggs they have.
Mohammed Bombado is also an influential businessman. For 3 generations,
Did you hear that? This is the Dantata you are hearing of.
his family has developed a major dock workers company in the port of Lagos. Like his royal title, he inherited the family business, which he could...
You see, did you hear when they say he owns whatever in the port, in Apapa, in the port in Lagos? And according to the person, the narrator, he said he inherited it from his family. So it is not today. It is not today they are into port in Lagos. And if care is not taken, there is no single Yoruba person who hold a very big position in Papa Wharf. If care is not changed, if we begin to dig deep, you will find out that Yoruba people don't even have anything in Apapa Wharf. This is the reality. This is the reality. Just the way they are taking over NNPC, they are taking over Ijo land, taking over the oil, they have started taking over the wharf that is generating money in Lagos State. They are there. Their businesses are there. They are the biggest. Everything you see in Lagos today in Apapa Wharf are owned by Fulani, Hausa Fulani.
Continues to grow despite coming from a minority ethnic group.
Collaborate very well with things.
Yes, and this one is Bolaji's Sumola. They are willing to in Yoruba land.
Not yet, there will be issues, but issues will not be trashed out on the level of where I come from. It's on the basis of that objectivity of what the issue is, not of the color. I'm a northern, I'm a southern. No, we don't. Issues should not be seen in that light. No.
The Muslim Fula Hausa community that Muhammad oversees accounts for 5 million of the 20 million people living in Lagos.
One
Ritual
moment.
remains the same.
One moment. Now, you hear that? You see now that you have Oba of Lagos, Emir of Lagos. Let me now play the video so uninterrupted. I want to play the video uninterrupted so that you will understand, because I have been interrupting the video and all that to explain so that you will understand. Let me play the video uninterrupted. It's just 2 minutes.
Every month at the palace, the ritual remains the same. The king of the Fulani is dressed with a turban by his assistant. After a brief meeting with his emissaries, the Council of Traditional Leaders begins.
Most of the time, people come and bring their problems, to me, and we try our best to see how we're going to solve it. If it is something we can solve, we do it immediately. If it is not, we give them time to come back. Or if it's something that has to do with the law enforcement, we talk to the law enforcement.
Land disputes, family quarrels, attacks, and armed robberies are all on the agenda. The king of the Fulani people in Lagos is called upon for any community-related problem. It is a community that also suffers from discrimination. The Fulani are regularly accused of being at the root of deadly violence between farmers and herders in central Nigeria.
Anyway, you say a Fulani man, people see them as killers. But it's not true. A Fulani man is a wonderful person. He accommodates. He likes his people. He likes his neighbors. He interacts. He's a very social person, a Fulani man. But you know what? There is no society that there's no bad eggs.
Mohammed Bombado is also an influential businessman. For 3 generations, his family has developed a major dockworkers company in the port of Lagos. Like his royal title, he inherited the family business, which he continues to grow despite coming from a minority ethnic group.
Collaborate very well, we think very well. Not yet, there will be issues, but issues will not be trashed out on the level of where I come from. It's on the basis of that objectivity of what the issue is, not of the color. I'm a northern, I'm a southern. No, we don't. Issues should not be seen in that light. No.
The Muslim Fula Hausa community that Muhammad oversees accounts for 5 million of the 20 million people living in Lagos.
Now you have seen that. You have seen that. Okay? Remember, have it at the back of your mind that the Emir of Lagos is now solving land disputes in Lagos State over the Oba, above the Oba of Lagos. That is the beginning of conquering of Lagos, taking over of Lagos. Now, I want to show you how the invited Oba of Lagos to Edo State, in disguise that is going to APC function, Oba of in Edo State. They invited him in Edo State to humiliate him, insult him, harass him, attack him, to test whether he can disappear. And then after that, they come to a conclusion that he's not the real Oba. Now, listen to it.
Last weekend, sir, the Oba of Lagos His Royal, maybe we call him Imperial Majesty, Barilwa Noshola Akionu, found himself in Benin when Governor Shemali invited him to his house in Yambo. There was the 1 year convocation ceremony of Dose University that the former governor, that is Adam Oshomole, built in his town in Yambo. So on the first day of the event, the governor of Sarabak was there to deliver a lecture. Some thugs, they went and disrupted the lecture to the extent that the Sarabak governor and Oshomole have to run away through the back door. Then the next day on Saturday, the Oba of Lagos was there. And after the event in the university, the former governor Oshomole now said, please come and have breakfast in my house, or is it lunch? So as they were now going to the house of Oshomole, which is not far from the university, thugs appeared and disrupted both cars, destroyed the whole thing. They said the Oba started panicking. The Oba was now running a casket at the whole Oba of Lagos. Now the Oba and the governor are now caught in that
a whole Oba of Lagos. You heard the man say, a whole Oba of Lagos was attacked in Edo State.
Yes. Later, the governor was angry. That's Governor Obaseki. Now said, I can't even guarantee that I'm safe in the house of my national chairman. That if I cannot say if this kind of thing will happen to me in the house of the PDP chairman, that I'm sure this kind of thing will not happen to me in the house of the PDP chairman. So Oshomole too started begging the Oba of Lagos. Sir, where did you see to it? If the whole Oba of Lagos cannot go and find himself in that kind of situation, does it mean that Ifa is not showing them anything again?
That is what I'm saying. Personally, Oba of Lagos is an ex-police officer. That is what I'm saying. They should have somebody in the palace who know about Ifa. Before an Oba is going to go on any journey, he should is going to be on any journey, he should contest. He should consult. He should consult.
And Oba was embarrassed in Benin, sir, and in the domain of Oba of Benin.
Because he didn't consult anything before he left there. And an Oba, as an Oba, if something happened like that, the Oba should have disappeared. Come and land to Lagos. If you are really Oba of this thing.
Did you hear that? That if he is really Oba, he should have disappeared and found himself in Lagos. Unfortunately, he did not disappear. So this is a way. This is all this you see are political gimmick, a way to tell Oba of Lagos that he is not in charge. He is not in charge. And until now, if Yoruba people did not wake up to make sure they banish that man that I just showed you his video as the emir of Lagos State, you will see what happened in Kwara State is going to be a child play of what they are going to do in Lagos. Lagos is the biggest target now. So, Oba did not disappear in Edo. It was a stage, it was an attack to know how powerful the Oba of Lagos is. They tried him in Edo and he did not disappear. For that reason, they know Oba of Lagos is incapacitated, that he don't have any power. In fact, they don't regard it. Like, listen to this man as this man analyzes Oba of Lagos.
They are just money, man. They got money.
He was caught in the place. The governor was begging. He couldn't disappear, sir.
He cannot. He cannot disappear because they don't follow our caution. A whole Oba who have billions of money. The other time there was a time his house wanted to catch fire.
And he said no, it was from the bedroom, the AC, the air condition, just catch fire. The umbrella bomb, sir.
The umbrella bomb.
Yes, and money.
What kind of job?
Is this a money bond? It was that way.
Yes, sir. The Oba doesn't believe in caution. I will not mention too much things about Lagos. Lagos like wayo people. Okay. I am this, I am Imam of Onseriki, okay. I am this one and that. Okay. They don't do anything. Because all those who that come and stay with them, they don't want to learn from them.
Okay.
You come to from this, you come and say, I'm a Lagos man, I am man. No Ifa peace that is in his palace, which is bad. Yes, an Oba. An Oba with money, with everything. We believe that it's an ex-police officer, that's all. And it will not, it's not a really genuine police officer. to that rank he left the police, he could have been having something to disappear. That is why our army people are chatting out now.
They are attacking the page again. If they log you out, log back. If they log you out, log in back. They are attacking the page. They are attacking the page. Those of you, if all of a sudden you don't see yourself in this page again, go out and come back. We die here today. These comedians in Nigeria, we die here today. Today. This is June 12th broadcast. Special broadcast for June 12th. Historic June 12th. And why am I making this broadcast? Why am I bringing Lagos? I am bringing Lagos because in the spirit of June 12th, I want to show Yorubas some love. I want to let Yorubas know that what happened to MKO. Yes, we are back again. So if they remove you, you come back. They are attacking the page. If they remove you, you come back because now I think we are in the middle of the whole thing. So if they remove you, just come back. But remember, you are not missing anything. As soon as the page stops, I will stop. And as soon as it starts, I will start. So you are not missing anything. So now, why am I making this broadcast today? And a special broadcast, the remembrance of June 12th, the historic June 12th in Nigeria, is because what happened to Abiola is happening to all Yoruba people. What happened to Abiola is happening to Yoruba nation. What happened to Abiola is happening to Oduduwa as a whole. It's happening to Oduduwa people as a whole. And I am calling out Lagos State because Lagos has become the... If they log you out, if Facebook log you out, we log back. Log back. Go out and come back. They have not seen anything. Let me drink water. There is no hole in the neck. The water is not leaking. There is no hole in the neck. This water is not leaking. I have to continue. So why I'm doing this is that what they did to Abiola as a person, as a human being, they are doing it now to Yoruba as a whole, Oduduwa as a whole. And they are taking over Lagos. Facebook don't know Biafra. Facebook don't know Biafra. Facebook don't know that we have 5 skin. Facebook don't know that we have 5 skin. Atakata Abuo. That is who we are. Atakata Abuo. You will get tired today. Facebook, you are going to get tired today. All those people in Nigeria, you know, touching the page, touching the network, you are going to get tired today. You are going to get tired. So, and like I have told all the people watching me, if all of a sudden the screen is frozen, just go out and come back. If all of a sudden you can't log you out, go out and come back. Now, let us continue.
You are medicine man. Amen. In Jesus' name, amen. And after somebody went to happened to go to church, immediately he went out. He was killed. So all those things are bad. Who is armed robber? With this somebody who is very powerful. Armed robber will shoot you with the gun will disappear in his hand. Before I work for him. I don't work because of money. He said, I business. What sort of business are you doing? You see Yahoo? You see now gone? Daddy, I may be here. I should leave that one. Now I know the work now. Come back like 2 weeks time. I will not work for him.
But what's the implication of those boys that that case pending for the order of legal that the order was not running a task letter? What is the implication of those boys and the the former governor Shomoli. You know, this is the man that said, come and eat lunch in my house, and the boys now disrupt the whole to start shaking.
The Oba is not really equipped. Have you been work? We will bring us on horn. Cause them. Those boys will disappear, they will die off.
They say Oba of Lagos is not real Oba. They say Lagos is not real Oba. That if he's real Oba, as they attack him, he will bring us some horn and curse them. Something and those boys will dry up. But Oba of Lagos is not doing that because they have one Oba. They have one king in Lagos. They have only one king in Lagos. And that king now they have in Lagos is the Fulani king. Fulani king. Oba of Lagos is only Oba in Lagos Island. Lagos Island. The main king in Lagos now is the king of Fulani. And in case Oba don't know this, send this video to him. Let him start thinking all the things that has been happening recently. Let him start thinking. This is how they're analyzing him. He's not Oba. He's not Oba of Lagos. Now, this man is going to tell you who are real Oba in Yoruba land. At least he's going to mention a few names. In fact, even the Oba of Benin, he tried to mention Oba of Benin, but then it was a mistake. He said, no Oba of Benin, but he began to mention some other Obas who Fulani cannot go and get king in their land. You will see them.
Immediately. But nothing like that. They can't do that to Oba of
and the boys now disrupt the whole thing and make the Oba to start shaking.
The Oba is not really equipped. Have you been work? We will bring us on horn. Cause them. Those boys will disappear, they will die off immediately. But nothing like that. They can't do that to Oba of Benin. They can't do that to Oba or...
You see? So he mistakenly mentioned Oba of Benin, and then he said, not Oba of Benin. You see? He said they cannot do that to Oba of Benin. It was not his intention to Oba of Benin. So in the essence, he's not even regarding the Oba of Benin. He said Oba of Benin, not Oba of Benin, but of course he was not even referring to Oba of Benin. Well, listen.
And the boys now disrupt the whole thing and make the Oba to start shaking.
The Oba is not really equipped. Have you been work? We will bring us on horn. Cause them. Those boys will disappear, they will die off immediately. But nothing like that. They can't do that to Oba of Benin. They can't do that to Oba of Oyo.
They are laughing.
They can't do that to him. They can't do that to Oba of Abekuta. They can never do that. If they will blame themselves. That is why I'm saying now. Nigeria aboard. Nigeria.
So now you see. That is how they took Oba of Lagos to Edo State to deal with him, to attack him for Oshimole's convoy. You see, Lagos is being taken over by Fulani. Now, when they tell you that the person that tell you that Fulani is a peace-loving people, Fulani is this, Fulani is that, I want you to listen and watch this. Remember, you are still on June 12 broadcasts. Special broadcast for June 12. Let us go there.
The wounded in hospitals in central Nigeria all share the same story. They are Christian, farmers, and have all been attacked by armed men suspected of being Fulani and Muslim herders. This woman has lost her hand and has had her face mutilated. This man was shot in the head. His family remains at his side in the hope that he will survive.
It's around 5:30 in the morning. He just had gunshot. He just woke up. Before he knew, they shot him. After they shot him, they stabbed him with with matches and stick.
Over the last 5 years, violent clashes between farmers and herders have resulted in 7,000 deaths in Nigeria, considerably more than those caused by the terrorist group Boko Haram, a conflict that leaves behind burnt villages and victims buried by the dozens in mass graves. The source of this conflict? Access to land and other scarce resources. Climate change and desertification have forced cattle breeders to migrate south in order to feed their livestock, which in turn has angered the local population. Attacks, reprisals. The conflict is getting worse day by day.
It has become so rampant and from village to village, and it's like it's still ongoing because there are still imminent threats of attacks still going on.
On that Sunday, hundreds of Christians who had fled their villages came to listen to Pastor Johanna Buru. From parish to parish, the pastor travels the country urging for dialogue between Christians and Muslims so as to prevent new eruptions of violence.
So I try to encourage them to trust in the Lord in everything. As Christians, there shouldn't be any revenge or any reprisal.
Rural conflict spares no community. Isa is Fulani and Muslim. He has found refuge with relatives in a livestock reserve after the inter-community violence that followed the 2011 presidential election. Here, his herd can graze safely without the risk of invading another people's land.
We lived very well with the Christian communities, but after the 2011 election, the Fulani villages were attacked. They killed the Fulani, destroyed their camps and their cattle. 80 people from my clan were killed the same day. With God's help, we were able to escape with a few cows. We were in danger until we moved here.
This reserve is an island of peace and stability for Fulani communities that have decided to settle despite their isolation. The Nigerian government has been promising for 30 years to open other reserves, but nothing has come of the projects, to the great dismay of livestock associations.
The land has always been and will continue to be static. It will not increase an inch. Therefore, the competition only goes to affect the life of the pastoralists. So, the importance of gazetting grazing reserves and encouraging these people to settle down into them cannot be overemphasized.
With nearly 200 million inhabitants, Nigeria's population boom is increasing pressure on natural resources. Rural conflict is a complex question to which the government has so far failed to provide any concrete answers. Without any political will, reconciliation between herders and farmers remains a distant prospect.
Now, you see, for those of you who are commenting, you can't see nor hear anything. As the program finished, go out and come back. I don't know how you can be commenting in where you are not seeing anything or hearing anything. So go out and come back. You hear it? They said Fulanis are loving people. Now, when I posted a video yesterday of the rape, for you to see how they rape our women, a lot of people say, oh, they are speaking Spanish. Some people say, oh, they are speaking French. They are speaking Spanish, they are speaking French, they are speaking this, they are speaking that. I want to tell you something. The people that are killing people in Nigeria, they don't speak Hausa, they don't speak Fulani. They speak either French or they speak Spanish. Yes? So when you hear somebody speaking Spanish, you say, oh, this must not be in Nigeria. It is in Nigeria. Because they don't speak Hausa or they speak Fulani, they speak French or they speak Spanish. That is what we are telling you, in case if you do not know. Now, I want you to watch this. Like this kind of man now that is going to tell you that the killing are not committed by Fulani. This is like, I'm taking you back to 2014. What you're about to listen now is in 2014. This was how Nigerians were being fooled by people like this man. A moment.
These attacks have been blamed on Fulani headsmen, supposed Fulani headsmen fighting against the farmers. Is that what you witness?
I will defend it with the last drop of my blood.
You hear them?
That the Fulani herdsmen are only being used, whether in Plateau or in Benue. Not.
He said he's going to defend it with his last drop of his blood. I want anybody who knows this man. This man said he is going to defend with the last drop of his blood. Fulanis are not the one killing people in Nigeria. This was 2014. No? I want anybody who knows this man to send this video to his family, to him, to his friends, and ask him. I don't know whether he's a Fulani. Did he still maintain this stand in 2020? Is this man still maintaining this stand in 2020, or has he repented?
Of Southern Kaduna, Benue, not to talk of Southern Kaduna. I grew up going out with these same Fulani herdsmen. I will go out from morning to evening, grazing. How many are they? Tell me, a Fulani herdsman finds it difficult to sell his cow. Do you get it? Only when it is absolutely necessary. You will say that these Fulani herdsmen sell their cows, go to buy AK-47, automatic weapons, just what the military call it, I don't know, go and train, come in the night and go around and kill people that way. That is a serious, huge joke. Not even the worst illiterate can believe that kind of story.
Are you hearing him? This man say, not even the worst illiterate can believe that. So, if you know this man, ask him in 2020, is he still fighting with the last drop of his blood? That is not Fulani. Now, I want to play a video of a policeman. I want you to listen to this.
Security now on Sunrise. They were joined by Frank Kamba, who is the first public relations officer. Thank you for coming on this one, Frank.
Thank you very much.
Well, yes, indeed. This early today, we did look at this National Assembly asking the security agencies, the police inclusive, to see what they can do to stop this who they describe as Fulani herdsmen. Of course,
somebody is asking me. Somebody sent me a message. How did the Fulani learn to speak Spanish or French? Most of the country, you see, they originated from Guinea. And in case if you don't know, most of the countries like Guinea, they speak French, they speak Spanish. For those who are coming to my inbox to ask me how they learn to speak, Spanish, learn to speak Spanish or speak French. Most of them come from a country that they speak Spanish. In Guinea, they speak Spanish in Guinea. Part of the Guinea, they speak Spanish. And part of this African country, like Senegal and other countries, they speak Spanish. If you don't know that, you know it now. A lot of you don't know nothing because that is why you are languishing in. That is why when something is happening, you don't know nothing because you have never researched on your own. You cannot research because you people are lavishing in. Those who came from the country where they speak Spanish, they speak Spanish. Those who came from country where they speak French, they speak French. They don't speak even Fulani. They don't speak Fula. They don't speak Hausa. So if you don't know it, now you are hearing it for the first time and get yourself educated and enlightened from this page.
It's been on for a while. Have you also heard that? What is going on?
I think first of all, I would like to acknowledge the fact that we're having some challenges in that particular area.
Okay.
We've all seen recorded incidents of attack, herdsmen on settled farmers, or rather what appears clearly to be clashes between herdsmen and farmers.
There's a clashes.
We've tried to study the situation very critically. We're equally putting measures in place that we believe will help tackle the issues and probably provide what we would call lasting solutions to it. And for us, we are looking at both short-term measures as well as long-term measures. First of all, you need to understand why this situation appears to be exacerbating. First of all, there's challenges that has to do with climate change. And that's a fact. In Africa, there are studies that suggested that in the past 5 decades, for example, over 800 lakes and water bodies have dried up. There are also obvious signs that there are parts of the north and parts of Africa that traditionally grazing tribes are also drying up. That's one of the challenges. Then secondly, we also have the destabilization of the Sahel region. The crisis in Mali, the crisis in Chad, Central African Republic, and of course, the collapse of the government in Libya. What has happened here is that the destabilization of that region has actually created additional challenges for Africa, of course, Sudan inclusive. And you now see, whenever there are wars, or whenever there are civil conflicts and insurrections, what happens is, even after the end, even when you try to mop up arms, do the 3 R's, and order, there are still leftovers. And then these weapons eventually are getting into the wrong hands. So persons that ordinarily go about with sticks before now have access to firearms.
Now, did you hear that? Did you hear that? This man, this policeman finally agrees that Fulani now have access to firearm. That people who goes with a stick before now have access to firearm. Number one indictment of Fulani, because it has been always all the time, oh, they don't have AK-47, they don't have, now a policeman in Nigeria is telling you, back in 2014 or so, that Fulani have AK-47. Did you people watch all this?
I was going to ask you at this, yes, indeed, we know herdsmen to be going around with sticks and knives. Are these real herdsmen?
Well, for now, I don't have any information that suggests the contrary.
You see? Finally, police also is saying that there is no any other information to suggest contrary, that the people killing Nigerians are not herdsmen. Indictment number 2 from police officer. Now, the question I want to ask is, how many of them have been arrested, including the Mayete Allah, whom under the Mayete Allah, they are committing the atrocity and killing and the genocide in Nigeria. They have admitted being that Fulani herdsmen are the one killing Nigerians. And this man admitted that, first of all, Fulani who used to have stick now have AK-47. Second, the Fulani are now killing Nigerians. Third, the people that are killing Nigeria are not Nigerians, that they came from outside Nigeria. Listen to him.
But there's also something we've discovered. It is not like every herdsman, every cattle rearer you see is a Nigerian. We must realize that. These cattle rearers are nomadic in nature. So because this can actually heat up, create unnecessary enmity amongst brothers. There are cattle rearers that move all the way from Senegal through Mali, through Sudan, get into Nigeria, move back all that way again. But for us, the most important thing is what we are doing to actually tackle these situations. What we've tried to do is to actually, first of all, increase our collaboration and our partnership with stakeholders. Under the current IGP, we are mapping out and identifying those areas and those essential stakeholders that we need to be talking to. We are also developing and increasing our area capacity, because you can carry out motorized patrols or foot patrols through grazing areas. So you need a very strong aerial power to be able to monitor what is happening in vast grazing fields and in vast farmlands. And that's why under the leadership of the current IGP, he has come up with a policy where each of the zonal command headquarters is being given a helipad. The idea is to build a helipad in each of the zones and then deploy a minimum of 2 helicopters for each of the zones. As I speak to you, our operations, our area patrol in Benue is being carried out from the Air Force Base. But we're also building a helipad in Otukpo. We're also building a helipad in Nasarawa. And we are building a helipad in each of the zonal headquarters. We have 12 zones across the country. And we're trying to deliver that as quickly as possible. The idea is, even when you have a police helicopter hovering up, apart from its strong surveillance capacity, and apart from its ability to actually gather information and relate to field operatives, its presence on the air is actually a strong deterrent. But we must begin to look at the long-term solution. And for us, the long-term solution lies in developing policies that will actually keep grazers at bay. I mean, keep them, separate them from farmlands.
Okay, well, we'll come to that, but I'm just wondering, we've heard, not from an authoritative source though, that there's this suggestion that helicopters ferry some of these people who come in and attack and flee. Have you heard any such thing? Is it true?
I've heard this just as you heard it. But for us in the security sector, we don't work with rumors. We work with facts that are empirically verifiable.
But you can investigate.
But of course, we pick up information from any source. If we sift through this massive collection, more massive pieces of information, we can actually develop intelligence. And so when we pick any information, whether from, we pick them up, work with them. But until we work with them and then reach conclusive, get conclusive results, it might not be intelligent to begin to speak on them.
You were talking about both the short-term and the long-term solutions to all of this, but this in Ogun State, some communities there, it looks as if it's increasing. What's happening? Because are we going to combine both short-term and long-term solutions, or do we just choose one?
No, you must combine. As you are deploying your short-term strategies, medium-term strategies, you are equally working on the long-term. The difference between the long-term strategies and the short-term is that the gestation period for the long-term strategies are actually longer. So
You heard the policeman admitting that they also have had the rumors of helicopter dropping weapons to herdsmen to attack. If Facebook lock you out, remember to log back. You heard him, confirming that their security agents have had the rumors of a helicopter, and you heard him analyzing where they have built a helipad, where helicopters are coming and hovering on the air and all that. But it has been confirmed, and confirmed by different communities, not just in one region. In Yoruba land, in Afra land, in Delta, it has been. They continue to attack the page. They continue to attack the page. And that will make me to replay this video again because it is very, very important. Very, very important. Very, very important. Most of you must have watched this video. I played it separately.
Well, we're picking up on that comment and some of the others. As you see in the front pages, Abuja has got this one.
Well, thank you, Chamberlain. Joining us right now is Zachary Gundu, who is a professor of archaeology at the Ahmadu Bello University. You're welcome to Sunrise Daily.
Thank you so much. Good morning.
Good morning. I think we can all agree on, I mean, there's a common thread running through all of the discourse that we have heard so far. It is that these killings are senseless and that government has done little or nothing to stop them. Or maybe what it is doing, we're yet to see, because the killings and the divisions are still running riot, and it doesn't seem like it's going to come to an end. Try to help us make sense of what your reading of all that has been happening is.
Well, in a way, if you are the victim, the killings are senseless. But if you are the one doing the killing, it makes sense. A lot of Nigerians don't appreciate our history. They don't also appreciate what has been happening in this country, especially in the past few years. I believe that if people know history, they will know why the Fulanis are doing this. If people know our recent history, they will know that there is an attempt to grab a lot of land from the people of this country for the Fulani of the whole world. For people who don't know, the Fulanis have their original homeland in Guinea. That is in Futajalon. And they had an outing from Guinea.
They are attacking the page. If they log you out, log back.
Was represented by the Usman Dan Fodio Jihad. It succeeded. There was a caliphate which they established outside even the boundaries of this country, because the caliphate from Sokoto, if you go up country, it went into Chad, it went into Niger. And then from independence, we have had about 3 Fulani leaders who have led this country. But in the original homeland, which is Guinea, the Fulanis have not been allowed to lead Guinea.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Original country of Fulanis are Guinea. And Fulani has never been allowed to rule in Guinea. And you know, most of the Guinea country, they speak Spanish. In case if you don't know it before, you know it today. They speak Spanish in most of the Guinea. Most of the Guinea country, Equatorial Guinea, Guinea, Conakry, and whatever, they speak Spanish.
So Nigeria has become their second preferred homeland, where they are inviting the Fulanis of the whole world to come and claim as their own country. And people should realize this. And if we come here on our ancestral lands in this country, and somebody comes in to kill us, it becomes a problem. Let me just say this.
Professor, I'm afraid I have to interrupt you.
No, let me just say this.
Just before you say what you say, or what you want to say, I want to ask, how do you have, how are you able to draw this thread? You have talked about history. Yeah. We all know that before now, yes, we fought into tribal wars. Yes. There were conquests every now and then. The Benin Empire, for instance, expansive. Yes. And it also, made its own conquest. Yet nobody has been able, whenever Ife Modake is fighting, nobody is talking about prehistorical or, pre-colonial wars to justify what is happening.
Ife Modake war is a local phenomenon. In Nigeria, what happened when the British people came in?
All of you that are saying Guinea Conakry is a French, who doesn't know that? Why are people so daft? I just mentioned most of those countries speak French and Spanish. And I mentioned Equatorial Guinea speak Spanish, and Guinea Conakry and what have you. Either French or Spanish. And all of you, some of people are just commenting the Equatorial Guinea Conakry speak French. Who doesn't know that? But what we are saying here is that most of those countries, they speak Portuguese, they speak French, they speak Spanish. And if the Fulani come from a place that they speak Spanish, he's going to speak Spanish. If the Fulani come from a place where they speak Portuguese, he's going to speak Portuguese. If the Fulani come from a country where they speak French, he's going to speak French. That's why most of them in Nigeria, they either speak Spanish or they speak French or they speak even Portuguese, depending on where they come from. So what is wrong with you people? What exactly is wrong with you people that you people cannot just reason like a human being? Honestly.
Remember, the caliphate was a pre-colonial phenomenon, and it gave the Fulanese some privileges even over the Hausa states, because they manipulated Islam to take over the Hausa states. And it gave them some privileges over the Hausa states and other Nigerian groups which they used to raid as slaves. When the British people came in, people who know colonial history will know that they privileged them. They decided to divide and rule this country by privileging the Fulanese over other groups. So what happened is that the Fulanese moved with their privileges from the pre-colonial period into the colonial period. And now that we have independence, they are also moving with the privileges they had under the colonial government into independent Nigeria. And independent Nigeria is not a feudal system. Independent Nigeria cannot allow a group of people to come into this country from all over West Africa and claim this as their own country. What happened during colonialism was that the states we have presently became fixated in terms of their boundaries.
My question is, how do you know that there is an invitation, as you put it, from local Fulanese or Nigerian Fulanese, as it were, to their counterparts and say, Guinea?
They have not hidden that. They have not hidden that. Remember, the governor of Kaduna State has agreed, has admitted that he used state funds in Kaduna, not Nigerians. They are from outside. What this means is that if somebody comes from outside, he's coming at whose instance? Remember where Benue is. If you come from outside, and you go right into Benue to attack it, where are you coming from?
Just before you go on, I mean, there have been other, there have been other plausible theories around this. They have talked about how there is an environment.
If they log you out, log back again. We die here today. If they log you out, log back again. We die here today. Today. So we continue now, and then we start to take today. If you disappear from the page, just find yourself back again.
That even the Lake Chad is drying up, and right now there is a need. I mean, even the desert is encroaching. We're all aware of that, and that pasture that used to be available for cattle is no longer available. Population is exploding. The usual cattle routes are no longer available for cattle to go around as they used to, owing to this population explosion and development and civilization. All of this do not matter in the context of the crisis that we're currently seeing?
No, all of them matter, but they are not as important as the point I'm making. Remember the so-called cattle routes. They are not today's invention. These are cattle routes which were established when the jihad succeeded and there was a Fulani, there was a Sokoto Caliphate. So the cattle routes then were established for the Fulani of the whole West African sub-region to come in and out of the country.
Is it just Nigeria that these routes were established in?
No. It's not just Nigeria, but try to remember what I'm trying to say. In Nigeria, which has become the second preferred homeland of the Fulani, we have more space. Certainly we have more space. But that doesn't mean that people can come from anywhere
in the world, particularly with this type of criminal intentions and activities, to come and attack this
Professor,
country.
you know.
Yes, and on this note, we are having only 20 minutes of telephone call, and everybody will be given 2 minutes. Immediately 2 minutes is over, I will just cut you off and accept another caller. So the line is open, and we are going to have only 2 minutes. Only 2 minutes for everybody. And I think the 2 minutes will be like 10 callers. So I am going to receive 10 callers or so. The next 20 minutes, I will go off and go to rest. And see you again tomorrow, because this is already Saturday where I am. So our telephone line is open for your calls on June 12th. And let it be what, let your calls be on what we've discussed today. And I am going to have a suggestion line, a suggestion telephone line. It will be made available soon, where you are allowed to send only messages, suggestion, any suggestion you want, any suggestion you know you have on a way forward. We are going to open that telephone line alone for suggestion. Now, welcome. Good morning, good evening, your name and where you're calling from, please.
Oh, I am the happiest today. Simon Ekpa, I am the happiest.
Welcome.
You pick our American call. I don't know if you people agree with us in America. Please, our viewers, we love you all. Biafra we must get. Simon, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
May we know your name? May we know your name and where you're calling from? You're from US, yes. Your name, please.
My name is Austin Ndweze. I'm calling from New York City. I am from the Ndokwa province in Biafra land.
Welcome to the program. Welcome to the program.
Yes, thank you. Simon Ekpa and our great listeners all over the world. Do you know that this same let me start like this. Every September we used to go to a protest in the United Nations every September, because they have the world heads of government meeting in United Nations. So when we go there are other countries too who have different countries that will come there. So then this particular year when we went, which was last year, there were these women, real African women, our women from Guinea, this same country you mentioned. It just struck me when you mentioned this thing. These women came in protest that the president must leave, that the few years the president, which is a Fulani, the president of Guinea, these women were protesting that the president must leave, that Guinea is not their country. And they are fighting internal wars. We are talking to you. Women, they march from the whole different places. They from Guinea Conakry or Guinea-Bissau. They took in that the Fulanis, Guinea is not their country. That they just came there to look for water for their cattle, and they one way or the other they bribed and the man became president. That is they just found that is a Fulani, and they are ready to fight and take him away. Every day I am crying, I am shedding tears. That what is happening to our people? It is recorded in British archives. It is recorded in American archives. Our warrior spirit of Biafran, the warrior spirit, is it these people, see the way they are raping our sisters and our daughters, who we send to school to be qualified, and with respect and dignity. These people are mesmerizing them. Now, Simon, look, Korea, the grandfather of Kim Jong-un, the president of Korea, do we know that his grandfather, America bombarded him in the 50s? The documentary, America don't hide anything. America shows this documentary every time. There is a particular history channel here in the United States. This America bombarded, they went to Brooklyn. It is recorded, the Korean War. America bombarded Korea. They went through the other European countries. They invaded them through China. Okay. The grandfather passed information to King Jong-un's father. They started, what did they do? They started building nuclear. Now, by then, this President King Jong-un was still a small boy schooling in England. Then King Jong-un went, after his father died, he went back. And his father passed it to him. Now, King Jong-un said they invaded the Korean War in the 50s. Now they have testing. That is why you see that Korea is testing a missile from Korea that will land in the United States. I am here in the United States. We are not here to cover anything. Not Korea. The Jong-un who said Korea is mad. King Jong-un is mad. No, he's not mad. He's preparing because what happened in the 50s will not happen again. Now, these people attacked us in Biafra land. They killed over 5 million. The conspiracy of these people. What will we do? I know you people, your thought is as good as mine. But let's keep this for another time. Thank you all. Thank you, Simon, for this opportunity.
Thank you
Let
very
me give my other brothers the opportunity to call.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good evening, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Good evening. This is Collins from Senegal.
Collins, welcome to the program. Go ahead, 2 minutes.
Yeah, I thank you so much for your work, for your effort in this struggle.
Thank you
I'm
very
really
much.
grateful for your efforts. I want to comment for those people that is commenting about those Fulani people speaking Spanish and Portuguese. In Guinea, for those people that don't like to go and search, in Guinea, they speak Portuguese and Spanish. So I know, I'm very sure that many of those Fulani, they enter Nigeria because, you know, both Senegal, Guinea, all of them, they have Fulanis and all of them, they move around. So for those people that think that it's not possible for those Fulani to speak Portuguese or Spanish, they're all wrong. For all of them, they don't speak one language, even there in Guinea, because I know in Guinea, they have Igbo. Those Guineans have covered those Igbo people that run during the Biafra war, because I have researched the thing. In Guinea, they have Igbo. Those Igbo that run through the Biafra war. I even have one friend from that Guinea, a Igbo guy, telling me that his father is from other states. But right now, in London, his father told him that they run during that Biafra war, they run to Guinea. And they have village, because if you check Guinea, if you read their history, that Igbo people, they have the third populated village in that place, in that Guinea, from the way I saw the history here. But because of the way they are treating Igbo, that is how they still treat them there.
Thank you very much.
The guy told me a lot of their story about Igbo people there in Guinea.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your effort. Thank you. I'm really grateful.
Thank you very much for that call. Yes, good evening, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning, good evening. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Yeah, this is Anthony Conti, calling from Cape Town.
Anthony Conti from Cape Town, welcome to the program.
Okay. Simon, yesterday I was watching your program. First of all, I thank you all who are Biafra agitators on medias. We all are pops. We all must not be on media, but we will be doing our best with our ideas. And yesterday I watched the video of a lady, the Fulani rep in Soka. I couldn't sleep. Then I asked myself a question. Must we continue looking these guys like this? And they raped our daughters and get away with it. Like if Biafra are counting soldiers now, I think I'm number one.
Thank you very much.
Because I am not happy. I'm ready to leave Cape Town any day, any time. They call for war. If I don't defend my children, I don't think anybody can defend them. Our father did it for us, and we will do it for our children. So if this Fulani of a thing, I don't think coward is not the best. And keeping quiet, and they are going to this extent mile. My brother, I am not happy. That lady is somebody's wife, a mother, somebody's child, and these people, uncircumcised people, are doing this kind of a thing and get away with it in our own land. My brother, I'm still thinking about that. It's disturbing me and bothering my heart. I must tell you the truth.
Yes. Thank you very much. That is why we are showing it. That is why we are showing it, so that everybody will wake up. So that is why we are showing it, and that is why we are on this media, to create the awareness for people to know actually what is happening. And we are not just keeping quiet. Everybody is doing something, and very soon, just very soon, everybody will know what we can do.
Do we know? Can I ask one question? That lady now, do we know her whereabouts? Whether she's alive or dead?
Nobody knows that. Nobody knows that. Because sometimes, who knows whether they have killed her? Nobody know. Nobody. And as you can see, the faces of those people are there, visible in the camera. So nobody know whether the lady is alive. Nobody know whether the lady is dead. And most of those people don't have access to internet. And not everybody is on the social media to know and identify the face of the girl.
I would like a situation, this kind of a thing, if you ever get it, show it up again so that it will motivate our men to do extra more. I always watch your program. I never miss your program a day. I watch it always, and you are doing the best.
Thank you very much.
You are a motivational somebody. I appreciate your work.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good evening, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from, please?
Hello, Mr. Simon. I'm calling from London. My name is Peter.
Peter, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. I just want to comment on the issue going on in Lagos now. So what I want to contribute is that I just want us to inform our brothers living in Western Nigeria, even in Lagos, that their targets, they are the targets now. The Fulani people will come after them. If there's any problem in Lagos, now the Fulani will come after them. What they need to do now is to divide their properties and take half of it down to the east, because Lagosian cannot protect them.
Okay.
So you have to give them that counseling. That's what they need to do now. Everyone has to face home before it is too late. Because the situations around now is pointing out that anything can happen. They are targeting the properties of the Easterners, the Biafrans, up there in Lagos and other parts of northern Nigeria. So if they have sense of thinking in them, what they need to do now is for them now to divide their properties and take half home and keep half there. That home will be a defense for them if peradventure something happens. So once again, I just want to commend you and our leader, and UTMF4, for the wonderful work they are doing for Biafrans.
Thank you very much.
You all.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. They have heard the advice. They are listening, and believe me, people are listening, and this message is going very far. Thank you very much.
God bless you. Keep on doing your work you're doing. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you. Now let us watch this video again. People asked me to play it. And what you see here is just one. As I'm talking to you now, in Nigeria, in the western part, in the southern part of Nigeria, in Middle Belt, this is happening on daily basis, and our women, they are raping our women, our girls, in hundreds. Some they will rape them and kill them. Some they will rape them, impregnate them. Some they will rape them, just like this. What you are watching now is happening every day in Biafra land. Look at the children. Look at their children there. Their children, they are raping this our sister in front of these children, teaching the children how to live in the community, how to live in Biafra land. This is how they teach and nurture their children. You see, they teach their children how to rape our women. And somebody will come to say, Fulani are loving people. Somebody who eats with his mouth will say, Fulani are loving people. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Good evening, good evening, good morning. Welcome to the program. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Yeah, my name is Petrus Beach. I'm calling from Italy.
Welcome to the program.
Yeah, I thank you very much for your efforts in your gospel and the information that you are spreading all over the world. I really appreciate it. I say, may Almighty God bless you, keep you safe, and give you more wisdom and understanding to pursue our cause for Biafra restoration in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Yeah, there are two things I want to contribute. I've been trying your number for a very long time. I've been following you since last year, but to reach you for no avail. There's a numerous calls. I thank God that I reach you today. I'm so happy.
Ahead. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, my first contribution is this. You know, in the liberation of apartheid rule in South Africa, the ministers of God, the pastors, and the Reverend Fathers, they contributed a lot in the liberation of the apartheid rule in South Africa. Somebody like Desmond Tutu and all the rest. But in our own case in Biafra land, it seems that many ministers of God have kept quiet. They don't contribute. They don't fight. Many pastors and many Reverend Fathers, it's only few that just raise up this year. They don't contribute. The same thing goes with our artists, our musicians, and our film artists, actors and actresses. They are not contributing in this restoration of our motherland Biafra. They are not contributing. It seems that they don't care. Because I know even using South Africa as an example, somebody, a musician like Lucky Dube, he used his musical talents to spread the gospel of the liberation of the black Africans from the apartheid rule of the whites. But in our own case, the reverse is the case. Many of our musicians that come from Biafra land, they have kept quiet. They are not contributing. I told you, my brother, use these platforms that you have many followers to tell them the time for them to wake up, to contribute and put their own quota, to use their platform, their musical platform, their musical gifts, talents, to propagate this gospel. And even our priests and our reverend pastors, for them to use their platforms. We are not going to lift alone our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, and use Samoneko to do the work alone. No, every hand must be on deck to propagate this good news. My second contribution is this. We are talking about the Fulani, their killings, and their barbaric killings, and their raping, and all the atrocity they are committing in the whole of the old contraction zoo country, Nigeria. It's country, none of them has been arrested. I have a friend here in overseas, here in Europe. He's a Ghanaian. He told me that them Ghanaians, they don't give Fulani people chance. They don't give them chance to enter into their politics. They don't give them chance. Even if when their cows maybe destroy their farmlands, they kill the cows. They don't give them chance.
Thank you very much.
They don't give them chance.
Yeah.
So these two things I want to contribute.
Thank you very much.
Mainly this our reverend ministers, our pastors and our reverend fathers, and all our musicians and all our actors and actresses. It's time for them to wake up.
Thank you very much.
It's time for them to wake up, my brother.
Thank you
very much, and may God bless you.
Amen. Amen. So now that is going to be our last caller of the day. I am using this opportunity and appealing to our brothers and sisters in the United States of America. Those of you in the United States of America, this message is for you. I'm going to, I think, maybe tomorrow I will preach on this alone. Those of you in the United States of America and you happens to be going to or be a member of a mega church in the US, it is time you play a very big role. A very big role. For example, this kind of mega church that is control like TD Jakes, for example, and Crafler Dollars, or how is it called? All these mega churches in the US. If you are a member of any mega church in the US that is owned by Americans, black Americans, if you are a member of TD Jakes Church and you attend TD Jakes Church, if you are a member of Joyce Meyer Church and you attend Joyce Meyer Church, it is time you approach them. Let them start preaching the evil that is going on in Nigeria. Let them start preaching about the killings of Christians in Nigeria so that we know that they are genuine Christians. If your pastor in the US, if you belong to a mega church in the US and you talk to your pastor, and the pastor refused to preach about the killings of Christians in Nigeria, especially the killings of Christians in Biafra land, and your pastor refused to preach about this that is going on in Nigeria, leave the church. Tell him or her, if you cannot preach about the killing of my people in my own country with verifiable evidence like we have provided, if the person wants evidences, let us know. Let us supply the evidences of the killing and annihilation of Christians in Nigeria. Let them start talking about it. Let them start preaching it in their church. Let them start preaching the messages in their church, because in those churches, you have all the congressmen going there. In those churches, you have so many decision makers going there. Apart from what IPOB and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu are doing already in diplomacy, let the church start preaching it. If you are a member of TD Jakes Church, if you are a member of Christian Dollar Church, if you are a member of Joyce Meyer Church, if you are a member of all these mega churches in the United States of America, approach your church, approach your pastors. Tell them that this is what is going on in your country. Tell them that it is now they begin to preach it. Let it be let it be your contribution towards the freedom of your people. You cannot just we can't continue to allow this. And those of you who are following all these celebrities, all these artists in Nigeria they can never speak about Biafra, give them 1 week, invent their pages, invent their Twitter account, tell them that you people are giving them 1 week to start talking about the killings and the Biafra, talking about how they kill people in Nigeria. If they refuse to talk, unfollow them. Unfollow them in Instagram, unfollow them in Facebook, unfollow them in any social media. Give them 1 week from tomorrow. Give them 1 week, invade their social media platform. In fact, if they post anything, comment, send them messages, everything. If they refuse to begin to talk about the atrocities going on in Nigeria, unfollow all of them. That is, I think this movement have to start. We are taking it globally. But this particular appeal goes to our people in the United States of America. The only thing you have to do, tell your pastors to preach about the killings of Christians in their churches in Nigeria. We cannot keep silent. And you claim to be a pastor, you claim to be a Christian. When Christians are being annihilated in other parts of the world, you keep mute because you are not there. It is wrong. On this note, I say we are bringing this program to an end today. See you again tomorrow, and God bless Biafra. Good night.